The world's population is 8 billion, and even that staggering number feels small compared to the countless women Donald Trump has assaulted. Buckle up, everybody, because today we're discussing disturbing breaking news, but this news is not just about one woman. It's about a pattern, Trump's long, undeniable history of abuse, and what it means for women's rights across the nation. Now, Stacey Williams, a former model, is speaking out, saying that back in 1992, she crossed paths with the infamous human trafficker and child predator Jeffrey Epstein, and through him, Donald Trump. She recalls being groped by Trump in what she describes as a sick, premeditated scheme between them.
I felt like that was some sort of sick bet or game between the two of them. I was rolled in there like a piece of meat for some kind of challenge or twisted game. And I felt horrendous. When Jeffrey and I would talk, he mentioned Trump frequently. He was clearly a close friend, and they were spending a lot of time together.
Trump's treatment of women is not an anomaly. It's a symptom of a much larger disease, the systemic exploitation of women, where men like Trump have thrived for far too long. Before we hear the most important parts of Stacey's allegations, let's dive into Trump's disturbing past and ties to Epstein. While it's not clear exactly when Epstein and Trump met, it's evident the pair shared a lengthy friendship. They've been pictured together countless times. Trump's called Epstein a terrific guy. There's a footage of them partying together, and in the early 2000s, Trump was quoted saying he's known Epstein for 15 years. We have to remember that Stacey joins the 26 other women who have publicly accused Trump of rape, kissing, and groping without consent, looking under women's skirts, and walking in on naked teenage pageant contestants. But in a video unearthed by CBS News, Trump is seen targeting a different kind of victim, a young child.
Let's listen to that.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
This clip makes me want to throw up, objectifying a literal 10-year-old. I would never let my child near Trump. How is this former president who's been found liable for sexual abuse in court running for president again? But enough of my voice. Let's hear from Stacey Williams herself.
I was on a walk with Jeffrey from his brownstone on the Upper East Side down Fifth Avenue when Jeffrey looked at me and said, let's go stop by and see Trump. And so we went to Trump Tower and went up the elevator, and moments later, Trump was greeting us, and he pulled me into him and started groping me. He put his hands all over my breasts, my waist, my butt. And I froze. And I froze because I was so deeply confused about what was happening, because the hands were moving all over me. Yet these two men were like smiling at one another and continuing on in their conversation. Jeffrey and I left, and I got into the elevator with him, and I felt this, like, he didn't look at me. He didn't speak to me, and I felt this like seething rage around him. His whole energy shifted. And when we got down to the sidewalk, he looked at me and started just berating me. That is why I am here tonight. I figured it was time to share this, and I'm ready to win this election. The thought of that monster being back in the White House is my absolute worst nightmare.
The question is, can we trust a man like Trump, a man who has assaulted and dehumanized women repeatedly, to decide our health, safety, and rights? This is the same man who dismantled Roe v. Wade and now claims he's the protector of women. Stacey's story is part of our story. Women have come forward in numbers too large to ignore. We're not disposable, and we are not stupid. The era of silence is over. We have an opportunity to elect a woman who has spent her entire career prosecuting crimes against women and children. It's up to us to make sure that men like Trump never hold power over us or our bodies ever again.